1999 was 25 years ago. What comes to mind when you think of the year 1999? I was 5, about to turn 6. I was very worried that Y2K was going to break everything, because that's what the news kept saying sometimes. I remember New Year's Eve at the end of 1999, my dad and I put different colors of construction paper through the paper shredder, and I dumped all the makeshift confetti directly onto one of our cats rather than throwing handfuls up in the air like Dad had expected. The cat in question was more agreeable to shenanigans of the two of them, but he still did not approve of suddenly being covered in paper bits. Playing video games in my shitty apartment, on the downslope of a relationship I was not ready to admit was already over, my asshole authoritarian boss. 1999 was not a fun year. On 12/31/1999 my friend group decided to bunker down in someone's basement that smelled like cat piss because they were convinced the world was going to end BC of the Y2K hype. At least my soon-to-be ex-GF and I had our shit together and had a nice night on the town with fireworks at midnight. That may have been the last date we ever went on. Columbine. I was in elementary school when it happened and I still remember watching the kids streaming out of the school with their hands above their heads on television. Then my school banned trench coats immediately after, which emo was kind of counterproductive because we were in Florida and it was 200,000 degrees, always. I also think of my Poochie robotic dog. It lives at my mom's house and now my nieces and daughter play with it. According to The Matrix, the machines determined 1999 was the peak of Western civilization. Seemed cool at the time, then started to sound sillier over the next decade or so. But after seeing how social media has changed so much to the negative, like by amplifying anti-science beliefs and radicalizing so very many dumb, violent things, I'm starting to wonder if maybe the Wachowskis might have been onto something. Fond memories of still being a carefree teenager. I started my freshman year of high school and 1999 was probably the last of my pleasant years as a child. I loved to wake up back in '99 as if all this was just a dream. It was a simpler time where you didn't have to be connected to the world all the time. Back then I spent a lot of time hanging out with my friends, riding our bikes around and playing video games. Shitty music, across the board. A lot of bad nu metal, bling bling hip hop of little substance, really forgettable bubblegum pop, and the early seeds of really bad butt rock that would dominate mainstream radio in the 2000s. There were a few exceptions if you liked niche genres like emo or West Coast skate punk, but those weren't really my speed. That one time I locked my rental car keys in a very secure and not easy to get to facility near Washington, D.C., during a snowstorm. Of course the people who worked at that facility were capable of unlocking the car but could not, and the person who was sent to unlock the car by the rental company has a story they may also put here. I was 19, and very into the body glitter trend of the time. Also, I think my favorite movie of all time came out then, which was Gladiator. If I'm wrong, correct me. I saw it 4 times in the theater and bought the video cassette as well. I was also very bitchy and I look back on my bullshit now and cringe. I stayed up until midnight for the first time on New Year's Eve that year, and I used my camcorder to record almost 3 hours of myself waiting up to see what happened. Well, I would love to see that video now, but I'm pretty sure it got thrown away years ago. My husband died right before Thanksgiving 1998. Don't remember Thanksgiving or Christmas. So it had only been 6 weeks when 1999 started. Was a young widow and scared to death with 2 kids. To this day I still look back and wonder how I did it. Bobby Valentine got ejected from a game and he snuck back into the dugout with a fake mustache. He got fined $5,000 and was suspended a few games. The team went 40-15 and won the wild card that year. It was a fun, weird team that year. My younger brother was born in February of 1999. The first season of Futurama debuted in March of 1999. Yanni released his compilation album Winterlight in September of 1999 and at the time I was only 5 years old going on 6. I think about the time I spent from mid-1998 through mid-1999 fixing the Y2K issue for a former employer. That's pretty much all I did at work. And yeah, when the clock rolled over, it was fine. Because of all the work I did. First thing would probably be me and my brother finding a snake that had been cut in half by a car in our driveway, so we had to put it out of its misery. I think I would have been 6. I'd quite that is the first thing I think of. I remember Y2K fears quite vividly as well as the big anticipation for the changing of the millennia. Y2K had everyone bouncing around for end of the world and rise of computers machines like it's a Terminator movie. Having a discussion about what music would be playing at my 5th grade dance. Someone asked for the thong song, One of the admin ladies said absolutely not, and then it was literally the first song that got played. My mother's sister husband had stage 4 liver cancer. He was on a respirator. And he died. My mother worried that her sister, now a widow living alone, would sell the building and move in with her son as wife. All the overtime money I made from prepping computers for Y2K. Lots of fun nights out with friends, now sadly passed away. Buying my first flat, meeting my now husband. All in all, it was a great year. Big wheel tricycles, Ice Cream Man, DMX, Ja Rule, Isuzu V-Cross, giant in-home stereo systems connected to even bigger tubular TVs. Cheetah print interior design, popped collar, everything being new. Everything from music to tech was throwing out 10 different wildly off-the-wall things no one had seen before and seeing what stuck. It was a cool time. When I was young, 1999 was far future. Prince said it, 1000 party over, oops, out of tonight we're gonna party like it's 1999. The impending doom of Y2K obviously, but other things that come to mind: Columbine, Napster, AOL chat rooms, I can still hear that dial-up tone, .com bubble, MTV TRL. A scrawny dude with poorly dyed blue hair, a labret indoor eyebrow piercing, a white wife beater, metal bead chain, JNCOs, and a pager on the belt loop. Y2K, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, lip gloss, white oleander on every book club, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, my 20s coming to an end. Futurama, Y2K program, Hulk Hogan. Everybody loves Raymond, that 70s show. Stable economy. Wasn't much war that year either. Fear of Y2K. It wasn't a hoax from what I've read. Bad effects were prevented from happening due to the diligent efforts of computer geeks. It makes me think of a concert that my friend took me to on New Year's Eve. It was on an Indian reservation and I had a great time. I was only 4, but what comes to mind is in 1999, you could have purchased Amazon shares for $3 and been a multimillionaire today. Windows XP and the Road Rash game. The first computer in my household, and that's the game I played countless hours in that year. Got my first apartment in 99. Had my first kiss in 99. First car wreck in 99. First factory job in 99. A lot going on in 99. Some of the best movies of all time were in 1999. That year was loaded with quality films that have stood the test of time. Well, I was a toddler, but I probably think about Fish being a bunch of young guys in their mid-30s. Now they are almost 60. Y2K. I was 10, in a cult-like religion and petrified that fireballs were going to rain down from the sky in Armageddon. That we all partied like it was 1999. Also, I worked at a bank during Y2K. It was nuts. I celebrated NAI in Vegas, ironically Y2K. Because for at least half the year everyone lost their shit and thought the world was going to end. I was 3 and all I remember is New Year's Eve being crazy and banging pots in the streets with my cousins. Steroids giving us the best power hitters home run, Air Maguire hitting 70 home runs, Sosa hitting 66. Got my one and only DUI, met my husband, won tickets to the 2000 Super of Ups and Downs. Stockpiling canned food for Y2K like it was the premiere of the world's least exciting apocalypse. My brother hoping that Y2K would happen so that he wouldn't have to study for his final exams. EverQuest staying up till 4 AM on work nights playing and hanging with my guild having a blast. I was really young in 99, but it makes me think of bulky skate shoes and the rapper DMX. Last year of high school. The year I discovered the town where I'd eventually moved to. My first year of band camp. It was brutal, but our band went to Western State Finals. Graduated high school. The amount of times we heard Prince's 1999 was very annoying. Moving from Western Massachusetts to Philly with a band. Best decision I ever made. 1999, Prince, B.O.B. by Outkast. And everyone thinking all electronics were gonna bite the dust. Honestly, a little Y2K angst and a lot of family fuss. 1-2 yo and 1 newborn. Listening to Prince in 1984? Singing Tonight I'm Gonna Party like it's 1999. As a soon-to-be 27-year-old reading this. Why must you make me feel old? All the great movies that came out that year. I'm too lazy to list them. I was a newly minted PhD starting my academic career full of optimism. Poochie. And those god-awful translucent computers and Nintendo 64s. Everything felt different than it does now. People seemed happier. Star Wars Episode 1 and RHCP's Californication album releasing. Chronic 2001. Dunno why he called it 2001 when it was made in 99. The Matrix and Star Wars The Phantom Menace were released. I think of whatever I was doing as a cute little toddler. A lot of you didn't get to be there. I was That's the year my nano baby broke. I miss you, Bean, crying face, translucent color shelled computers and electronics, Star Wars Episode 1. Oh, and meeting my wife, I guess, freedom. It was the year I moved from my hometown,